I think motorsports in America, for the most part, maybe a lot of that's predicated by stock cars, NASCAR, but is wheel-to-wheel racing. You know, close finishes. It's spectacular. You know, whether that be cars going up in flames, cars rolling, or cars beating their doors against each other going across the start-finish line. It's all about sort of close, intense, spectacular racing. You name it, the track has it. Uphill, downhill, off-camber, camber, high speed, low speed, sweepers, hard braking zones, long straightaways. It's got it all. And it's a challenge to drive and a challenge for the teams to set the car up. Especially to the aficionados of motorsports within the United States, everybody knows what Le Mans is. And it's huge, and they know it's very, very special and spectacular, and very hard race to win. So a lot of prestige, and I think everyone associates that with the Le Mans. Motorsports for me is everything else in the world shuts down, and it's me trying to get my best.
It's been 2 weeks since the race in Mexico, and the FIA World Endurance Championship has headed north to Texas. The World Endurance Championship paddock has made it to CoTA. This circuit has got a little bit of something for everyone. So let's see how the teams are holding out in this heat and what they've got to say. Is that a sign that I've got a choice of who I can speak to? Jeez.
Brendan. Positive, we're coming off the back of 2 wins, which is nice, but they've all been close races, so I mean the last two could have gone either way and it was a big battle, and I don't really expect anything less yet.
What's your name again?
Superman.
Tell us about this sequence of turns.
Yeah, it's probably the nicest section of the track from turn 2 onwards, and you go in flat out, and then you start lifting more and more as long as you go, and it's very enjoyable, unless you're behind some GT car and stuck behind.
It's a very beautiful circuit with quite a lot of elevation, and it's very technical, as well as the heat affects the way the car is handling. It's a completely different situation than Mexico, where we're in high altitude, so it's a big change over 2 weeks.
Over 200 kph, you feel your neck on this one. I think physically it's one of the hardest tracks anyway, also for your neck and overall. You can easily go over the track limits. And we know from last year track limits was a big thing. But I saw they put some bumps on the exit of each corner, so that will make it interesting.
The track has got a bit of everything really. The sector we're coming through now is very tight and twisty, so you need a good all-round car.
The Corvette has got air conditioning, have you?
Yes, and we were actually just talking, about trying to crank that up as much as possible, because, we're sweating a bit on this track.
Some manufacturers start off a little bit slower, maybe looking after fuel and trying to look after their tyres as well, to manage their tyres, and they come really strong at the end of the race in the last couple of hours.
Everybody asks me, you come from Abu Dhabi, you're used to the hot weather. To the contrary, actually we're used to AC.
this circuit definitely has character, and that's what makes it exciting in the car.
It's race day morning at the Circuit of the Americas. No worries about the weather, except maybe it could be a little too hot. The autograph session a little different here in Texas. The drivers go to meet the fans, not the other way around.
Oh, your nearest home race, isn't it?
Yeah. Although it feels like a world away, I've got to tell you, us Canadians are not used to this type of temperature. But listen, let's hope it cools off a bit and we can enjoy it.
It gives them a chance to sample the feel and the atmosphere and be part of it, you know, which is so important to the future of this championship, really.
We came from a win, and these guys are amazing. To be here with such a heat and cheering for us, we need to give a good spectacular.
It's very, very warm, but yeah, not a bad little crowd, and looking forward to the race. Obviously starting in day, finish at night, but I bought my hat last night, so it looks good, I think. You know, I'm really happy with it.
You just met Mark Webber.
I'm so excited. I've been following him, Red Bull with F1, and oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
With the autograph session finished, it's time to bring the cars round onto the front straight. Between the two impressive grandstands, a superb arena for motorsport, and the countdown to the green flag has begun. Our Grand Marshal in the grand state of Texas, Mr. Le Mans, Tom Christensen.
The temperature, the humidity, it's incredibly tough, not only for the teams and drivers, but of course also for the cars. And then you go into the night, which is lovely. I remember driving here into the dusk, and then when the sun is down, it's pretty damn tough. So I look forward for an exciting race.
Qualifying in all four classes was extremely tight. In GTE AM, the 98 Aston Martin, Pedro Lamy and Paul Dallalana on qualifying duty ahead of two Porsches. And Aston Martin on pole in GTE Pro, the Dane train, Nicky Thiem and Marco Sorensen ahead of Ferrari and Ford.
The whole field was basically within, I think it was 1 or 2 tenths, and that's close for 4 different manufacturers to be within that. That's pretty hardcore, I would say. So let's see. It's gonna be a struggle for everyone, I think, here in the beginning of the race.
On pole in LMP2, our championship leader, the 36 Alpine Nissan, and with an American driver on the squad.
The big thing is the heat, not just for the drivers, but changing the condition of the circuit when the track is this hot. It's making it very difficult on the tire management and the degradation, as well as the driver fitness. So we're gonna have to take it and swallow it and keep pushing.
fractions of seconds separated the LMP1 hybrids as well, with Toyota showing an improvement, 6th and 4th for the TS050s. Porsche in 3rd and 5th. Romain Dumas could have been higher up in the number 2 car, but had a lap disallowed for going off the track in qualifying. Audi have dominated the early sessions, topping every timesheet since we rolled out onto the track.
It's going to be hot in the car, it's going to be really hot on the fight. I think we are all very close. The temperature will give some problems in many cars, but we feel pretty confident on our cars. I think Porsche and Toyota too.
Well, the temperature and the nerves are heating up as we reach the final moments before the race. We've got the number 1 Porsche in 3rd, and look at this, we've got a 1-2 Audi. But the big question is, how are they going to deal with this heat here in Austin, Texas?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, and the home of the brave.
The formalities completed. It's time to think about racing and nothing else. The cars are rolling on their formation laps, and the grid reflects Audi's dominance so far this week. They've locked out the front row. Porsche and Toyota sharing the next 2 rows, with Rebellion the best of the privateers. Signatech Alpine top of the P2 charts, and Aston Martin Racing in 18th position, best of the Pro GTs. Their colleagues in AM in the 98 car, the best of that category. 6 hours on the clock in Texas, round 6 of the FIA World Endurance Championship. Long hold, and we're racing, climbing 4 stories to turn number 1. Audi have got the start right, the pole sitter Marcel Fesler. Oh, but Loic Duval's gone wide. Mark Webber through into second position, needed no second invitation there. Audi split by the number 1. Well, it was almost a perfect start for the 2 Audis. Looks like they'd planned this. Fesler goes through into the first corner, but Loic Duval, loses the back end there and goes wide. Huge amount of battling in the LMP2 field. Well, take a breath, everybody. Settle yourself down. Toyota's splitting the Porsches there, but not for very long. Here comes the number 2, down into turn 11 and onto the back straight. Now, what does 1,000 horsepower plus look like down there? End of the first lap. It's Audi, Porsche, Audi, Porsche, then the 2 Toyotas. The TS050s from Toyota Gazoo Racing looking very much more competitive this weekend. Sebastian Buemi now has passed Conway and chases down Romain Dumas. This is the battle for 4th position across the start-finish line. He's got a run. He goes to the left-hand side and he's forced into the pit lane by Romain Dumas. Stout defence by Dumas, but he can't hold back the Toyota. New 4th position. Buemi would not be denied. All the way in the pit lane for Sebastian Buemi. This one, it's looked like from the onboard. My goodness, that was even closer than I thought. Brilliant return to form for Manor in that red and white 44 car. Roberto Meri is a really quick driver. Nico Lapierre, well, we know all about him. Former Toyota Works driver. This is going to be very interesting. Aston Martin versus Ford. That's the unique rearward-facing camera. There's no other GT car that looks like that looking backwards. Old teammates, new rivals. Stefan Mucker and Darren used to share a car at Aston. And now Darren chasing Stefan in the Ford GT. Alex Brundle has had a brilliant drive from the back of the grid. Awful qualifying for the young Brit, but he's making up for it now, and he's carved his way back through the field in the orange and black G-Drive. Puts the 31 ESM car to the sword there. An extraordinary run from the back to 5th in class in just 29 minutes. There's been a change at the front of GT Am, and there's the visual confirmation. Pedro Lamy back at the head of the field. Lost the position on the run to the first corner. He was on pole, remember. Fairly standard overtaking manoeuvre on the 88 Proton Abu Dhabi Porsche. Coming down towards turn 11 then. There's our new leader. 2 lights on the side. That'll go to 1 very soon, showing him that he's in the lead. Gulf Racing Porsche in 3rd. David Richards from Aston Martin Racing, a happy man. Nelson Panciatici struggling now for grip on the final corner, and here comes Bruno Senna for RGR Sport. The bright red car up the inside. Oh, they've got the leaders coming up behind them as well. Watch for the 2 Audis. There is our race leader going 3 wide into turn 1. And Senna gets down the inside, and that's a new 3rd position in LMP2. Panciatici, just a tiny mistake coming onto that front straight. It's cost him the position. Watch the back end of the Alpine just sliding there. Almost contact, but good driving by both drivers. Very fair. Well, there's been a big concrete wall in the pit lane all this week for the American racing that's been going on here as well. So Marcel Fessler takes a late turn into his pit lane. He's out. Audi number 8 in now with Ollie Jarvis for a routine stop. He's getting himself ready. Porsche have no answer at the moment to the pace of Audi. They're pulling away at the front of the field. Romain Dumas out of the number 2 car, and Neil Jarni, the Swiss driver, gets in. So Mark Webber has inherited the lead. He needs a pit stop, of course, and that is Buemi behind him, so that's a little bit closer than I expected. Toyota doing really well this weekend. I'm sure Mark was expecting to battle with Audis, not with Toyotas. And the 2 cars at the head of the field now come in for their pit stops. It's a battle for the pit crews. Expect a Toyota to go a lap longer. This could be tactical. They'll need to put a bit less fuel in that TSO 50. Brilliant tactics by the Toyota Gazoo racing team, and they jump Porsche in the pit lane, and that is for position. So Toyota competitive in the pits and on the track. It's great to see. Romain Dumas on the left looked absolutely wrung out, and there's some concern down there in the Porsche pit. They weren't expecting to be battling, and Anthony Davison goes down the inside. This is not the fight that Porsche wanted. They want to be at the front of the field against Audi, and Toyota are giving them a real run here in Texas. Davidson timing his run down the inside to the 12th corner absolutely perfectly and holds on to the position. Porsche are struggling in the heat. Well, we saw this last time around, and this time Brendan Hartley gets the timing absolutely right. and goes back through, and it looks like he's going to hold on to that position this time. Well, Anthony Davidson's got other ideas, going to do the over and under. He'll go to the right-hand side here, heads for the apex, almost gets alongside Brendan Hartley. Now cuts to the inside, but Hartley blocks it there as they go into that very difficult left-hander at turn 15. Neil Jarney not too far away either. 4th, 5th and 6th absolutely together. So Brendan Hartley, having got past the number 5 of Anthony Davidson, has gone up the road, and it's Neil Jarney now who's challenging the Englishman in the Toyota. Fine rearguard action being fought by Davidson. This is the battle for 4th. Look at the tyre debris on the back straight. And the Porsche goes down the inside into turn 12. Easy as you like. New 4th place. Davidson trying once again into 15. I'm not sure he's got the track position here. Might have to give this one up. Well, Davidson doesn't know the meaning of that, does he? Through 17 and 18.
Good job, Brendan, good job. Let's get into a rhythm now, let's put a gap on these guys. Yeah, copy, you've been unlucky the last lap. Copy.
GTE Arm has been an absolute street fight. Khaled El Khabazi in the Porsche has got Pierre Rag in the Labra competition Corvette right in his wheel tracks now. The Corvette goes one side, then the other. Side by side, giving each other a little bit of room. Plenty of respect here. Under braking. Who's latest on the middle pedal? Answer, Pierre Rag. There's been plenty of action down at turn 12 today, hasn't there? Khabazi doing a great job. All the drivers really suffering in the heat. Nice to see Mika Salo back in the WEC paddock with the Marco Ferrari of AF CoTA. 44 Manor going through into second position past the RGR Sport 43 car. Very different Mexico races these guys had. The 44 out with a brake disc failure. The 43 won the race. Very good drive by Matt Rao, who now is in second place in LMP2 and immediately pulls away. Ferrari 71 with Fernando Reis looming large in the Aston Martin. Let's just enjoy this. Fernando Reis back in the Aston Martin as Richie Stanaway is on endurance duty in supercars down in Australia at Sandown Park, and he's making the most of his opportunity here and goes through. That's a new third position. Aston Martin 97, different colour scheme this weekend. Local sponsors and doing very nicely, thank you very much indeed, with the 95 car leading and now their teammates in third. Temperatures here, not quite off the scale, but pretty close to it. Real feel in the pit lane, around about 44 degrees Celsius, and of course much more in the cars. The drivers all doing single stints, just no point attempting doing doubles at the moment.
Brendan, 3 laps, make sure you're drinking.
I can't get my drink tube out. Drink tube is stuck in.
Well, a hard stint made even more difficult for Ollie Jarvis as he comes to a halt, unable to get all of his fluid from the drinks bottle. And Luca Di Grassi gets in. Ollie still taking time to give some information to his teammate though. Here is the number 1 Porsche, last year's world champions, back in the lead again on the pit stop cycle, but only just. Audi have almost built up enough lead to take a pit stop and not lose the lead. Tremendously impressive run in the first couple of hours here for Audi. Their pace, just extraordinary. The two Audis back together on the track, this time with the 8 ahead of the 7. Now they need to buckle down and do exactly what they've been doing so far, and that's taking half to a second a lap out of the rest of the field. This is impressive and much more like the Audi we used to see. Frustration for Porsche. They come in out of the lead because they pit slightly later than the Audis, but by the time they've stopped and get back out again, the Audis are the better part of 50 seconds up the road.
Brendan, nice and slow into the box, everyone's overshooting. Just tell Timo you've got to really stay on line, be careful of passing on the outside, turn 8 outside is okay.
Extreme heat here in Texas, and here's two drivers battling out there who are doing their second stint, so the better part of 2 hours in the car. Real Ironman stuff for Ricardo Gonzalez, who looks to his left, and Matt Rao in the manor has gone down the inside and into third position again at the end of the back straight. Wow, how can these guys even concentrate? Never mind race these cars. Look at the sun. Brilliant circuit here as Treluer goes through turn 1. Let's get on board with the number 7 car from turns 2 to 9. The wheel is never straight, and watch that G meter. 3G one way, then 3G the other. Oh, now that's AF Corsa number 83 Ferrari in the pits, and this has real championship implications. These guys are leading the GTE AM standings coming into this race. Leading the GTE AM at Texas now is Aston Martin, and it's a real return to form by Paul Dall'Anna and his teammates. Fire in the pits, the 88 Porsche. They've just been refueling it. Good work with the extinguishers though.
It was very hot and very tough, and also with the sun setting down on the back straight in the last sector, it's very hard to see the corners and see the prototypes behind when you get a blue flag. I just saw the fire like all of you here, and I'm waiting to debrief from the team what happened, but yeah, things like this happen. We just have to focus and do our best and try to make up for it in the race.
Sun in the eyes of Luca Di Grassi, our leader. Now, Toyota have been much quicker and more competitive this weekend. That's Kaz Nakajima up front, putting his right-hand indicator on 6th position, but he is going to go a lap down here. Good early showing, though, by Toyota, as the leader goes through turn 1, dropping off the edge of the world to turn number 2. Audi now are dominating. This is their race. They were close in Mexico, and they are really pulling out all of the stops here in Texas. No one else has got the pace in the heat of the day. First and second, and Porsche struggling to keep up in third. No pressure from behind from Audi, but you've still got to keep your wits about you. This was a couple of moments ago, and Ben Treluer having to go all 4 wheels off at turn number 10. This little kink here gets airborne as he goes past the 26G drive. Porsche have won 9 of the last 10 WEC races, but it's not going their way today. Let's head down to Romain Dumas, who's in the pit lane with Louise.
It was quite hot, yeah, for sure. First stint not easy, as we expect. The Audi are stronger than us when it's very warm. Now it starts to cool down a little bit, so should be better for us. But anyway, the temperature is still very high, so yeah, it will be a difficult race. We knew before, but yeah, we do our best. For sure, and we will see.
Bruno Senna, always good to see him behind the wheel of a car. He's really enjoying his run with RGR. Goes through on the inside of Kirill Ledygin. The team is delighted about that. That's 4th position. Down through the S's. Kirill Deegan trying to stay with Bruno Senna. But, oh, hang on a second, he's off the track there. So is that... Oh, the lights have gone out. Now that normally means the engine stopped. Completely dead stick now from Ledegin. A problem for the BR01 of SMP Racing. Oh dear.
Full course yellow. We are under full course yellow.
Taking advantage of the full course yellow. Everyone tootling around at 80 kilometres an hour on the track. That means your pit stops can be done without losing any ground at all. And Audi in and out very efficiently. Porsche will have to cover them off. In comes the World Championship winning car from last year, and Mark Webber gets back aboard.
2, green.
Perfect timing by the second of the Audi stops, just coming out as we went back to full green flag racing. And here's a picture we've seen before today, the two Audis together on the track and still in complete control of this race. Toyota will be delighted on the podium at Mexico, and once again their car looking competitive and able to battle against Porsche. Sarrazin and Romain Dumas having a little scrap here. Stefan Sarrazin was sparkling in the bad conditions of Mexico, and he's doing another good job here, but he's had to give that position up for the moment at least.
Okay, Marcel, it seems like we have lost front downforce again. That's why you have the understeer.
That's tyre debris in the aerodynamics at the front of that number 7 Audi that's causing that, disrupting the airflow and meaning that Marcel Vesler, when he turns the wheel, doesn't get the bite from the front wheels that he wants. Doesn't seem to be slowing him down that much at the moment though, as he went past that Toyota Gazoo Racing number 5. Full dark now here at Texas. Battle for 6th in LMP2. The Lone Star Le Mans living up to its Le Mans part of the name, as well as the Lone Star State. Great racing into the darkness, isn't it? Extreme Speed Motorsports just losing out there to SMP Racing. Oh, absolutely fantastic. An iconic racing shot. What a moment for Gustavo Menezes, the American driver, leading a World Championship race in his home country and leading the World Championship too with Signatech Alpine. It's Mike Wainwright off in the gravel at the first corner. Now he's just come out of the pits. Did the car on the left-hand side get involved? Here he comes. No, he's just driven straight out there. Now, he came into the pits with a puncture. That was fixed. Not sure how he got over there. Hearing from the pits now, it was a long brake pedal. Full course yellow whilst that car is removed from the place of danger. One of the great beauties of coming here to Texas is that we get to race day into night. Plenty of things to do for the spectators away from the circuit.
Oh, it's fantastic. This is my first racing event I've ever come to, so it's very exciting.
They're very loud, but love them.
Yeah.
I drive all the way from California to here, 26 hours drive, just to come to the event.
That's what I like about it. Anyone can win this thing.
Well, it hasn't cooled down very much here, and the atmosphere at the Circuit of the Americas is still electric. Drama on the racetrack, bottom of turn 2, that is our leader, and the number 8 Audi has ground to a halt. Loic Duval for a moment. No fire from the diesel engine. Look, the lights are out. He's coasting down the hill. And the Audi Yost team mechanics getting ready for work. Well, I'm not sure if it's Control-Alt-Delete, but he's got it going again.
Yeah, Loic had an electrical shutdown. We don't know yet why. But after a power cycle, everything is normal again.
The number 8 car losing about 40 seconds and now much closer to the number 1 Porsche in third. Audi still leading with the number 7 though. Signatech Alpine well in control of LMP2. Aston Martin Racing have been at the head of the GTE Pro class for pretty much all of the race. And in GTE AM, it's still the 98 Aston Martin that's leading there. Oh, this is a problem for Sebastian Buemi in the number 5.
Oh, I think I have a puncture.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. Maybe he's just got some pickup. Looks like there's air in all of the Michelin tyres. Oh no! Great call by Buemi, and that could have saved a lot of damage. Brilliant stuff.
Yes, we had a puncture on the left, rear right. Say car number 5 is suffering also from some engine problems on the wastegate. Not a lucky day for them. We're happy with car number 6. Sepp did a great job. Kazuki brings it back again, but I don't know how long it lasts. We're fighting to keep the 6th position, see what happens.
Aston Martin in GTE Pro and AM have been brilliant. But in AM, the 98 car, now 3/4 of a lap ahead of Wolf Hensler in the Porsche and Ricky Taylor back in the Corvette in third position. That looks like a right rear puncture for Porsche number 2. One brand new Michelin going on. Not a debris out on the circuit. Stunning. Here's Audi starting the next set of regular LMP1H pit stops. Still over 2 hours to go. Porsche number 2 out on the race circuit, comes across the start-finish line in a couple of moments' time, and they will change position unless that Audi is rolling. It's taking a long time to get Ben Trellier bolted in there. Can't put my finger on it, but it just doesn't look like a Audi Sport Team Yost pit stop, and it would seem that Wolfgang Ulrich agrees with me. Stefan Mucker, it's been an awful day for the Ford 66. Problems early on, and now he's off at the side of the track. How did that happen? Through the S's. Oh, there's another car in there. LMP2, is it? Yes. Looks like the Manor, the 44 car, Richard Bradley. Hoping Tung in the pit lane as well. He's hit one of the curbs rather too hard and damaged the front end of the Alpine. The full course yellow is a fantastic stroke of luck for the number 1 Porsche. Timo Bernhard gets put into the car under full course yellow. The Audis had to pit under green.
Track is green.
Slow start to the season for the 98 Aston Martin. Well, Pedro Lamy brings that car in the lead, and they're really in control.
Okay, so you can see him now. He's on older tires, so let's just be smart. And in front of him, that's Minassian.
Yeah, Minassian's not in the fight. He's a lap down, but this is for position. Just look at the economy of movement. Felipe Albuquerque works Audi driver. That's why he's got the 4 rings on his helmet. And trying to track down that G-drive with Alex Brundle ahead of him. Traffic, can he use it? Maybe. Brundle dives down the inside, tries to go past the Ferrari and goes wide. That's going to cost him time and distance. The second placed Audi is in the barriers. Ben Trellier trying to use the 4-wheel drive to get out of the gravel.
The Ford pushed me out. Copy, man. Are you okay? I'm okay. I'm stuck in the gravel. Okay, copy that.
So what happened here? It was the 66 car. And, oh, just a little touch there. That's high speed at the exit of turn 18. Contact, but the Tech Pro's done its job.
Sorry guys, but there was nothing I could do to avoid that. Then apologise, Olivier. That's the saving guys to the end.
Well, bizarrely, their teammates having the accident might help the number 8 car, because from here they can go to the end with just one more stop. A little bit of full course yellow helping their fuel usage. Here's Ben Treluer getting back to the pit lane. Right rear off the rim, front shredded. But they build Audi tough, and he has got it back to the pit lane for the Yost mechanics to fix up. Even at this stage of the evening, keeping cool a priority for the drivers. Not sure Nicky Team looks that cool though. So Kaz Nakajima on that replay clearly going off the track, and he's going to get a 5-second penalty the next time he comes into the pit lane. So he'll just be held by the team next time he makes a pit stop. Sorry, make that 10 seconds for the number 5. Race control just deciding that they want to double that. Here is the number 2 Porsche leading the championship for drivers at the moment, but only 4th position here. It's not been their race. Same tactics, same tyres as the 1 car, but not the same pace. Aston Martin have got their tactics absolutely right. Only used 1 set of Dunlop tyres in qualifying, still got pole position, and Marco Sorensen is with Louise in the pits.
It's looking good so far. What I just came in from was probably one of my most difficult stints ever, because the radio broke when I was when we were doing the driver change. So I had absolutely no communication with the team, and you had a full course yellow, and I had no clue what was going on out there, basically. So I was just trying to follow the protocol that we had, and luckily we didn't lose too much.
LMP2 leader in the pit lane. This should be their last scheduled pit stop. They've got plenty of time in hand, no need to rush here. Even a quick polish of the numbers on the side of the Alpine. This should be the last pit stop for the leading car, the number 1 Porsche. But we can't believe their luck. But you make your own luck in this game, and they have kept the pressure on Audi all the way through. That's how they find themselves in the lead. Better part of a minute, the gap from the leading Porsche to the remaining competitive Audi, the number 8 car. And Audi will be scratching their heads.
I have huge vibrations now. Copy, Lucas. We've had a lot of traffic. I'm sure it's pickup.
Well, I think a measure of the frustration of Audi. They've had the fastest cars all week. Their tactics have been pretty good too. Now, a moment or two ago, a very nasty moment there for Toyota number 6. And that's exactly where Mike Conway went off a couple of years ago. Remember, he speared off to the left-hand side and hit the barriers hard on the back straight. Oh, cruel look for Manor. Left rear suspension looks to be an issue there. It's sitting down. It's not a puncture. The Dunlop tyre has air in it. Hang on, says the guy on the left. Yeah, you see, that's not right, is it? Started a long way back. Is that another close encounter of the curb kind? Graham Loudon, the man at the head of Manor, telling us there's no more for the 44. After 5 hours and 55 minutes, and we've still got battling for positions. LMP2, 4th place, the 31. Green and black ESM, Ryan DL, with Maurizio Mediani going down the inside in the 27 SMP. Brake discs glowing in the dark. Great sports car action. This is why we love this sport. And Mediani nicks 4th position in the dying moments. Well, I'm a bit confused because Brendan Hartley and Mark Webber look concerned. Timo Bernhard has got plenty of time in hand. He's on the last lap. Is there something we don't know about that number 1 Porsche? The pace looks okay. Yep, fine there. He's coming round the last couple of corners through that long carousel. 19 and 20 to go. He can almost kick out the clutch and coast it home from here. Don't expect he will. But this is going to be 3 wins in a row for the defending world champions and another unlikely victory maybe for Porsche.
That's 3 in a row. 3 in a row.
Total respect between fierce competitors. Wolfgang Ullrich for Audi, Fritz Ensinger for Porsche. From almost 1 whole minute behind to win the race. Relief and exhilaration in Parc Fermé for the number 1 crew.
I need to interrupt. Unbelievable, mate.
No, and it's just mega. I mean, I'm so happy, and yeah, we could keep going. We can keep going. I mean, we have a great team, and yeah, we just need to get it together. Audis were a little bit quicker, but we came back. One time lucky with the full course yellow, but still we had no mistakes. Perfect day, so that's how you get a victory.
In LMP2, the championship is almost within touching distance for the Alpine Signatech team.
The conditions out there were really tough, but I have to say I'm very pleased with the team job today. We had the fantastic car. It was much faster than the others. We got the pole position yesterday, so overall a super weekend for us. Great drive from my 2 teammates, and we are very happy to extend our championship lead. It's really great before going to Asia.
From the back of the field to 3rd position for G-Drive. 2nd podium in a row for RGR, but the win to Signatech Alpine in LMP2. After no wins for more than a season in GTE Pro, the new partnership with Dunlop is paying dividends for Aston Martin Racing. And this time, the win goes to the 95 crew, the Dane train.
Finally, it's a win. This is the only category I didn't have a win in yet, so now I can put that on my CV at least. I'm overly happy for the whole team because this was a true fighting race. Basically, we had the Ferrari just behind us basically the whole race.
Ferrari's 2nd and 3rd pressurising the Aston Martin all the way to the flag. But with that victory, Sorensen and team go ahead in the Drivers' Championship in GTE Pro. The party continues for Aston Martin and GTE AM.
I lost a few positions on the start. And then some moments in the race we were a bit slower than the others, but we had a good car. I mean, my teammates, Matthias and Paul, they did a great job, really fast all the way through, and that's why we won again.
Hugely international podium with entrants from the UK, Hong Kong and France, German, British and American cars for GTE AM. Aston Martin faultless across the 2 GT categories this weekend. Is it just me, or is it all starting to go the way of our defending world champions? They didn't have the fastest car this week. They weren't competitive in the heat of the day. Yet Mark Webber, Timo Bernhard and Brendan Hartley are on the top step of the podium. 3 in a row for them, and the momentum is with them. Toyota back on the podium. Audi in second will not be happy. After dominating the week, Audi let victory slip through their hands in the race. Signatech Alpine confirmed their championship leading status, and Aston Martin Racing had GT under control in Pro and Am. The legendary 6th Street in downtown Austin doesn't care whether you're a winner or a loser, you can still have a great time. But for the WEC teams, their focus now moves east to Asia.
Fuji-san. Respect, traditions, and humility. Whispering and playing in the shadow of the great mountain.
World Endurance Championship. International event.
Team spirit.
Fuji, just over 4.5 kilometres, 2.8 miles.
Green.
The race of the rising sun.
To take that position, and that's a
The longest straight of the season.
Oh no! Behind you, he is the leader. 6 hours of Fuji on 15th and 16th October. The Spirit of Le Mans is coming to Japan. Follow us on social media